Hi, good morning. Gene here from Listening in Radio. I was kind of cruising around on social media today on Facebook, and on the CB Lounge Facebook page, I noticed a post, and a question was posted there, and the question was, how many people ran out today to buy CB radios, considering the fact that they're relevant again? Well, let me say this: CB radios have always been relevant. But let me add this into it. So since 2023, when I got my ham radio license, I also got into the passive part, and I talk about that all the time here on Listening in Radio, about listening in, about paying attention to what's going on in the world. For those of you who don't know it and don't realize it, the country in this world, the country who owns the most radio stations and shortwave transmitters in the world right now is China. If you don't believe me, go online and look it up, or go get yourself a copy of the World Radio and TV Handbook and look it up there. In the World Radio and TV Handbook, there is 25 pages, and some of those pages are packed with so much fine print of the number of transmitters. They had to pack it all into certain pages where they could fit it in, because it would have taken up another 100 pages in the World and Radio TV Handbook to cover how many stations the Chinese are running. And let me also mention that the Cold War didn't quite end. It just so happens that China not only has transmitters throughout the world, they have transmitters in Cuba, and I hear those transmitters out of Cuba regularly, and I log them regularly. Well, why are they in Cuba? Well, I don't know, but they transmit in two languages, pointing to the United States. They transmit in Chinese, and they transmit in English. So put two and two together. The other question posed that came up is about cell phones. Well, what about cell phones? Well, cell phones are a controlled technology. I've told people about this over and over again, that when you go digital, certain people have the ability to enter that space, that technology space, and throw in an on-off switch. So they have the ability to do what? Well, through EAS, turn off your phone, limit information, squelch what you're saying, throttle what you're saying, cut you off from the outside world. I mean, these are very real possibilities. And if you're not thinking about things like alternative means of communication, like CB or ham radio or shortwave radio, if you don't have a shortwave radio at this time in history on this part of the timeline, you're wrong. And you need to get a shortwave radio, and you need to start paying attention. I suggest alongside that shortwave radio that you also pick yourself up a copy of the World and Radio TV Handbook. A little pricey, but in the long run, it might be worth it. But just food for thought. Thanks. Won't take up any more of your time. Have a great day.